Here are today's headlines. Thousands flee the vicinity of Mayon volcano as PHIVOLCS raises its alert status to level 3. The Philippines and China prepare to hold a second dialogue to discuss ongoing issues in the South China Sea. Police arrest 2 suspected members of the Abu Sayyaf group in Zamboanga City. And bike teams from all over Mindanao are set to compete at the Tour of Mindanao bike race this August. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Thousands have evacuated over the weekend as Mayon volcano showed increased unrest. PHIVOLCS raised Mayon's alert status to level 3 and warned affected residents to take extra caution. Here is our report.
More than 3,000 residents living inside Mount Mayon's 6-kilometer radius permanent danger zone started evacuating as early as Saturday evening as the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, raised the volcano's alert level. As of Sunday evening, Mayon's alert status has been lifted to level 3 after exhibiting brighter crater glow and beginnings of lava flow at the southern slopes. 3 stream-driven eruptions and 158 rockfall events were also recorded. The Albay Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council ordered the evacuation of residents in villages within the permanent danger zone. The 7-kilometer extended danger zone was enforced at Mayon's southern slopes due to the danger of rockfalls, landslides, and sudden eruptions. Residents who might be experiencing ash falls were told to take precautionary measures against inhalation and possible damage due to accumulated heavy ash and rain. Albay Governor Al Francis Bichara said there will be no exemption or extension of time for stubborn and defiant residents who would not go on voluntary evacuation. LGUs with barangays within the 6-kilometer PDZ convened the respective Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Management Councils to discuss proactive actions to be taken in case the situation escalates. The Albay PDDRMC also directed all mayors in the affected areas to strictly monitor the activity of the volcano in the next 24 hours. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
PHIVOLCS has warned of an increased risk for deadly pyroclastic flows in Mayon volcano, which continues demonstrating unrest. Volcanologist Paul Alanis said people must avoid entering Mayon's 6-radius permanent danger zone and 1-kilometer extended danger zone. He warned that pyroclastic flows that consist of hot gas, rock, and other volcanic deposits may occur there in the coming days. He said the avalanche of materials Mayon will spew can move along the volcano slopes at the rate of about 100 kilometers per hour, making it impossible for people to outrun the fast-moving pyroclastic flows. He also noted that magma already commenced flowing out of the volcano. Mayon's alert status is now at level 3. Alanis said that if PHIVOLCS raises Mayon's alert level to 4, it means a hazardous eruption is already imminent. A landslide collapsed a concrete wall and buried houses along one of Tacloban City's major thoroughfares on Saturday night. Mayor Cristina Romualdez said the mudslide collapsed a wall and buried several houses along Congressman Artemio Mate Avenue in Quarry District on Saturday night. Rescuers reported 1 dead and 4 others missing. On Sunday, 1 body was recovered, identified to be that of 64-year-old Delia Carson. Still missing as of Monday are Alex Amancio, his wife Sherry Jane, and daughter Zoe Hernandez. The mayor led the Disaster City Risk Reduction Management Council in conduct of search, rescue, and retrieval operations. The mudslide buried 8 houses affecting 9 families. 7 other families were forcibly evacuated from the area. The regional capital experienced heavy rains on Saturday due to a tail end of a cold front which triggered flooding and landslides. Meanwhile, a chest-deep flood along National Road in Nula-Tula village rendered a portion of the highway impassable to all types of vehicles for more than 3 hours on Saturday night. A fisherman went missing as 24 others were rescued off the coast of Siruma and Tinambak towns in Camarines Sur. The fishermen who hailed from Catanduanes and Camarines Norte were on board 3 fishing vessels when their vessels were battered by rough seas and strong waves on Friday. The missing fisherman was identified as Lito Baruel of Gota Village in Caramoan Town. 14 of the crew members of one of the fishing vessels stayed in the house of village councilor Tony Cristobal in Pamintan, Camarines Sur. Meanwhile, at least 8,000 persons in the towns of Gainza, Milaor, Minalabak, Libmanan, and Sagnay in Camarines Sur were affected by floods on Saturday. Floodwaters were brought about by incessant rains which started Thursday due to the tail end of a cold front. The Department of Public Works and Highways will implement a total of 11 big-ticket infrastructure projects which aims to improve the road network in Mindanao. DPWH Secretary Mark Villar said the projects, which will be implemented from 2018 to 2023, cover the construction of 8 roads in Zamboanga Peninsula and additional 3 bridges in Tawi-Tawi. The project is financed by a loan from the Asian Development Bank worth 25 billion pesos. 3 core projects are for procurement on the first quarter of 2018, while the detailed engineering design of the others is now 80% complete. Villar said the projects are in line with the strategies of the administration's Build, Build, Build program by accelerating infrastructure development to support Mindanao. The DPWH chief added that the roads and bridges are among the agency's priority projects as it focuses on backing the economic development outside Luzon. The project is ADB's first support for a regional project in the golden age of infrastructure under the Duterte administration. State-run Social Security system expects its investment income to reach 60 billion pesos in 3 years following its participation in the infrastructure sector. SSS said it acquired a 5.17% stake in infrastructure conglomerate Megawide Construction Corporation, equivalent to about 2 billion pesos worth of shares. SSS Chairman Amado Valdez said the pension fund expects return of investments to increase to 15 to 17% given the government's focus on the Build, Build, Build program. The SSS and Megawide are also partnering to bid for a contract to rehabilitate and operate the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Megawide Chairman Edgar Saavedra welcomed the investment of SSS as an outstanding vote of confidence in the country's vision. Megawide is among the country's leading contractors for residential, commercial, hotel, and mixed-use projects. It has assets in construction, airport, and property development. Still to come, the Philippines and China prepare to hold a second dialogue to discuss ongoing issues in the South China Sea. Kalinga Province aims for a Guinness World Record for the largest gong playing group. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
From that historic day in October 2016, barely 4 months into the new administration, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, our office and the Japan Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications entered into an official memorandum of cooperation to implement digital television broadcasting for the government television network.
Noong January 10, 2018, ay ginanap ang ceremonial switch-on ng Digital Terrestrial Television Broadcast o DTTB ng PTV bilang hudyat ng pagtawid ng network mula sa analog patungong digital. Dahil dito, ang mga televiewers ay magkakaroon ng mas malinaw na reception ng mga programang kanilang pinapanood sa PTV. Pinangunahan ko at ni Japan Minister for Internal Affairs and Communications, Seiko Noda, ang ginanap na ceremonial switch-on kasama sa Department of Information and Communication Technology Under Secretary Eliseo Rio at iba pang PCOO officials. Binigyan diin ni Noda na sa pagkakaroon ng digital broadcasting facilities, ang mga mamayan ay magkakaroon ng libreng access sa mga impormasyon, lalo na kapag panahon ng mga kalamidad.
DTTB technology, which is available to everyone, achieves a more inclusive society where all the citizens have equally access to the various and high-quality information and services for free.
Ang modernisasyon ng PTV ay isa sa pinakamahalagang programa sa ilalim ng pamumuno ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Today, we begin the process to be graced by Minister Seiko Noda with a ceremonial switch on of the digital transmitter that would open the doors towards the smooth migration from the analog system to the digital terrestrial television broadcasting, or the DTTB.
Magkokonekta ito sa mahigit 70 probinsya at sa libu-libong lungsod at munisipalidad sa bansa. Tiniyak naman ni Dino Apolonio, ang General Manager ng PTV, na gagawin ng istasyon ang bahagi nito bilang isang responsive digital network.
We will do our part and make you proud as we spearhead our country's transition from analog to digital television broadcast. I'm confident that we will be able to accomplish the task at hand.
Target ng PCOO na sa 2030 ay maging ganap ng digital ang broadcasting sa Pilipinas at magsisilbing modelo sa ibang mga bansa sa Asia sa pagpapaunlad ng ating state-owned media.
The Philippines and China are set to hold a second dialogue on the territorial dispute at the South China Sea amid reports of a suspected airbase in one of the contested islands near Philippine territory. Here is our report.
The Philippines and China will be holding a second meeting for the Bilateral Consultations Mechanism, or BCM, in February, a venue for the two states to tackle all issues on the South China Sea dispute. DFA Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano told reporters that Manila will raise all reported developments in the area during the talks. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana earlier said they would urge the Foreign Affairs Department to file a diplomatic protest should they see that the Chinese are militarizing the area near Philippine territory. This was in response to a report of state-run CCTV which bared shots of Ferry Cross Reef that appears to have been transformed into an airbase. Lorenzana said that Ferry Cross Reef is very near Reedbank, an area situated within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Cayetano guaranteed that all activities in the contested region, including the reported airbase in the area, will be raised at the bilaterals. The first meeting of the BCM on the South China Sea was held in Guizhou Province in China last May 19, 2017. Pressed for comments on the reported structure, Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that the general thrust of the Philippines is to rely on the principle of good faith. Roque said the scope of this principle is in China's commitment not to reclaim new areas or build new artificial islands in the strategic water. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Joyce Ana Rocamora.
Malacanang on Saturday welcomed the country's climb in the list of the world's powerful passports. The Philippines rose 3 notches higher this year in the latest survey of global residents firm Henley and Partners. The survey said the Philippine passport now enjoys visa-free access to a total of 63 countries. The world's most powerful passport at present is Germany for its visa-free privilege to 177 countries, followed by Singapore, which topped the Southeast Asian region with a visa-free passport to 176 countries. The Philippines shared the rank as 72nd with Indonesia. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said the government is exerting efforts to make sure the Philippines gets more visa-free access in the future. Meanwhile, Roque stressed that the government is doing its part to improve the process of passport applications amid reports of backlogs on passport appointments. These include the streamlining of the passport application process, additional appointment slots and consular offices, and weekly mobile passporting services. Restaurants in Davao City will be required to serve half orders of rice as part of the menu. The Davao City Council approved an ordinance that intends to prevent food wastage. Here is our report.
Consumers in Davao City can soon choose how much rice they can eat in restaurants and fast food chains with the passage of the half-rice ordinance, now up for signature by Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio. The City Council approved the Davao City Rice Conservation Ordinance, or the Half-Rice Ordinance, which requires all business establishments serving food to include a half cup of rice in their menu at half the price. Councilor Marisa Abella, chair of the City Council's Committee on Agriculture and author of the ordinance, said the main goal of the law is to reduce rice wastage in the city since there are people who could hardly consume a cup of rice. For uniform serving, Abella said 1 cup of rice should be 180 grams. She said the stakeholders, even the big fast food chains in the country, did not oppose the proposal during the 3 committee hearings she conducted prior to the approval. As soon as the mayor approves the ordinance, there will be an inspection of all food establishments whether they offer a half-cup rice order or not. Violators will be slapped a fine of 1,500 pesos for the first offense, 3,000 pesos, and a month's suspension of business permit for the second offense, 5,000 pesos, and permanent cancellation of business permit for the third offense. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Police arrested 2 suspected members of the Abu Sayyaf group at a shopping mall in Zamboanga City. Chief Superintendent Billy Beltran, Police Regional Office 9 Director, identified the arrested suspects as Emran Ismael alias Bantong, Basintin and Bantong Basiri, and Brian Muhammad alias Pojong at Yun. Beltran said they arrested Friday at a shopping mall on La Purisima Street, Barangay Zone 3. He said the suspects have standing warrants of arrest for 7 counts of kidnapping and serious illegal detention. The suspects were involved in the kidnapping of 7 workers of the Golden Harvest Plantation in Barangay Tayran, Lantawan, Basilan on June 11, 2001. The Abu Sayyaf executed by beheading some of the hostages, while the others either escaped or were rescued by pursuing military troops. The provincial government of Kalinga will attempt for a Guinness World Record for the most number of gongs gathered and being played at one time. The attempt will be made at the 2018 Aweng Ji Gangsa, or the Call of the Thousand Gongs Festival, during the 23rd foundation of the province on February 14. Kalinga Governor Josel Baak said they are targeting more than 1,000 gongs first used in 2014. He said the challenge is to encourage all barangays in the province to bring out their gongs to be used for the event. To make sure that they will be able to achieve their goal of landing in the Guinness World Records, Baak also said that students from all levels will be asked to participate by wearing their native attires and to hold and sound their gongs to perform the Kalinga dance. Up next, local agencies launch an agricultural program for evacuees in Marawi City. Bike teams from all over Mindanao are set to compete at the Tour of Mindanao bike race this August. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente. December 27, Miyerkules, Lanao del Norte. Nakiisa si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa dasal na mapabilis ang recovery ng probinsya mula sa pananalasa ng Bagyong Vinta. Inatasan din ng Pangulo ang iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno na bilisan ang pagtugon sa pangailangan ng mga apektadong mamamayan para maibsan ang bigat ng damdamin nila. December 30, Sabado, Rizal National Monument. Inalala ng Pangulo sa ika-121 anibersaryo ng kabayanihan ni Dr. Jose Rizal ang mga sakripisyo nito para makamit ng Pilipinas ang kalayaan. January 3, 2018, Miyerkules, Presidential Guest House, Davao City. Nag-courtesy call kay Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte si Indonesia Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi at ilang pang opisyal ng Indonesia Ministry of Foreign Affairs. January 8, Lunes, President's Hall, Malacanang. Iginawad ni Pangulong Duterte ang Order of Sikatuna na may ranggong dato kay outgoing South Korea Ambassador Kim Jae-shin. Kinagabihan ay nanguna ang Pangulo sa 21st Cabinet Meeting sa Malacanang. January 9, Martes, tinanggap ng Pangulo ang credentials ng 4 na bagong non-resident ambassadors mula sa East Timor, Estonia, Malta at Paraguay. Nakipagpulong ang Chief Executive kay Communist Party of China Central Committee Deputy Director Meng Xiangfeng para ito sa mas gaganda pang ugnayan ng Pilipinas at China. Nag-courtesy call din kay Pangulong Duterte si Minister Seiko Noda mula sa Japan Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
Various agencies and local government units jointly launched an agribusiness program called the Harvest Festival in Lanao del Norte. The program aims to teach modern farming methods as livelihood, particularly to evacuees from Marawi City. Here is our report.
The Harvest Festival successfully launched at Barangay Abaga, Baloi, Lanao del Norte, led by Go Business Converges and in collaboration with various government agencies and local governments of Marawi, Baloi, Lanao del Norte, and Province of Lanao del Sur. This agribusiness project aims to help Marawi City IDPs learn to earn their living through modern farming. Through this intervention, evacuees are helped to raise their income by their own efforts. This program is dubbed as Kapatid for Agri or Kapatid for Marawi. These are intensively agricultural training programs for evacuees of Baloi and Ramain municipalities. They are teaching modern methods of planting vegetables and fruits to help them to live beyond what they do. According to Go Business ARMM Programs Head Ana Margarita Hontiveros Malvar,
the programs are under what we call Kapatid for Agri or Kapatid for Marawi. So ito ay mga agricultural training programs that we have been doing for IDP families. The training program is an intensive teaching of new technology for agriculture, teaching them how to grow mga fruits and vegetables so that number one, they are food self-sufficient. So they can feed themselves, okay? They can feed their families, no? As we all know, problema yan ng mga bakwit talaga, yung kakulangan sa pagkain. And then secondly, and more importantly, is meron din silang source of business or income, no? More than livelihood.
The festival was attended by Marawi City Mayor Mahul Gandamra, Assemblyman Fiat Macarambon, and representatives of various government agencies. They visited the gardens and assisted in gathering of fruits of the vegetables, the products of our beloved brothers. Saira Alug Makaampaw from Bangun, Marawi City and IDP is thankful. Along with this festival is the graduation of 200 enrollees in the program.
Nagpapasalamat kami sa tumutulong sa amin dito, lalo-lalo na kay Ma'am Mingay, na siya ay tinutulungan kami niyan kung papaano kami bumabangon, kung papaano namin mapalaho ang aming trabaho.
Mayor Gandamra announced the granting of 5,000 pesos per graduate from the Marawi government. The 400 additional enrollees will also graduate by March this year. For PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
The construction of a shelter for sexually abused children in Silay City, Negros Occidental will start next month. The Chameleon Center will rise on a 8,000 square meter site at Bonbon Village, Barangay E. Lopez. The site was donated by the city government to Chameleon Association, a non-government organization based in Pasig City, Iloilo. The Chameleon Center will cater to girls who are victims of rape and incest, who will stay for a period of time until their recovery and reintegration to the community. They will be provided free educational, medical, psychological, and legal support. Chameleon foundress Lawrence Ligier led the groundbreaking rites with Mayor Mark Goles and BDO Foundation President Mario Deriquito. The Silay project, sponsored by the Luxembourg Government Cooperation, Human Air Luxembourg, and BDO Foundation, is scheduled to be completed by November of 2018. The exciting Tour of Mindanao bike race is set to be held in August during the annual Kadayawan Festival in Davao City. The two-day cycling event is co-organized by the Radio Bandera in coordination with the Citywide Cycling Association of Davao. 8 teams have already confirmed their participation, with 4 coming from Davao City. Cash prizes, trophies, and medals are up for grabs for the winning teams. Meanwhile, a separate qualifying race will also be made for the teams coming from Luzon and Visayas for the Tour of Mindanao. The top 7 teams from the qualifying race will advance to the Tour of Mindanao. KISAD Chairman Salvador Paholio expects the Tour of Mindanao will eventually become a national cycling competition. The Department of Energy led the donation of 200 electric-powered tricycles to help boost livelihood in Marawi City as part of its rehabilitation. Here is our report.
As Marawi City recovers from the ashes of a terrorist siege that lasted for 5 months, residents are slowly returning to the life they knew before the conflict began. The Department of Energy and Task Force Bangon Marawi held a ceremonial signing of a Memorandum of Understanding for the donation of 200 electric-powered tricycles or e-trikes built using Japanese technology. The e-trikes are air and noise pollution-free, easily driven, and can be charged using any 220-volt outlet. The lightweight one-piece shell of the e-trike is more rigid than conventional, externally attached side cabs of current gas-powered tricycles and are compliant with the roadworthiness guidelines of the Land Transportation Office. Each e-trike will seat 5 passengers and feature a passenger access on the side, which adds to the safety of the vehicle. DOE Secretary Alfonso Cusi led the signing of the MOU, turning over the e-trikes to TFBM Chairman, Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario of the Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, and Marawi City Mayor Majul Gandamra. Cusi said these e-trikes represent a means to support the livelihood and jumpstart the economic activity in Marawi. Gandamra meanwhile said the donation from the DOE and the national government will not only help displaced residents move around during their day-to-day activities, but it will also help them in moving on. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondok.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country.
Commission on Higher Education Chair Patricia Licuanan has resigned from her post. Licuanan announced her resignation at the CHED flag ceremony Monday morning. She revealed that she received a phone call from Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea over the weekend, asking her to step down. Licuanan's term supposedly ends this July. She said she chose to resign to protect the agency from added controversy. Licuanan was previously accused by Pwersa ng Bayaning Atleta or PBA Representative Jericho Nograles of making unauthorized foreign trips. She was also accused by her detractors of corruption and mismanagement of funds. Meanwhile, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said President Rodrigo Duterte has accepted Licuanan's resignation.
The President has received the resignation of CHED Chairperson Patricia Licuanan, and that it will be accepted by the President.
For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Here's another look at today's headlines. Thousands flee the vicinity of Mayon volcano as PHIVOLCS raises its alert status to level 3. The Philippines and China prepare to hold a second dialogue to discuss ongoing issues in the South China Sea. Police arrest 2 suspected members of the Abu Sayyaf group in Zamboanga City. And bike teams from all over Mindanao are set to compete at the Tour of Mindanao bike race this August. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. And that's your daily dose of the hottest news and the latest information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm William Theo. Good day.